All right, I'm in Denver for the Zero Failures event the Sashco puts on every year, and my buddy Luke, there he is right there, is picking me up. Come join me for a little trip to the mountains to see how Luke Mann builds. Rangeline Homes, there he is. What's up, Luke? Good to see you, brother. Here's a detail I bet you've never seen before. This is a staggered stud wall, 2x8 top plate, 2x8 bottom plate, and check this out. The way the studs are staggered, when we blow in insulation here, we're gonna have a continuous thermal break without having to go to exterior insulation. 2x6 stud for structure on the outside of the wall, 2x4 on the inside, and then this will get dense packed with cellulose. This is really cool. The build show, we're outside of Denver at Evergreen, Colorado. I'm about to introduce you to my buddy Luke with Rangeline Homes. There's some really interesting details here. The build show on the road, let's get going. All right, y'all, Luke Mann, the owner of Rangeline Homes. We've been friends a long time, but I've never been to one of your job sites.
Thanks for coming.
I follow along on your jobs, though, on the gram.
Yep.
So what are we seeing here? What is this?
All right, well, we've got our staggered stud wall. Like you said, we've got a 2x6 exterior for structure, 2x4 on the interior side, and what that does is it completely thermally breaks this wall.
Yep.
So we don't need that exterior insulation, and the nice thing about that also, it helps with sound.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a quiet home, and it's just gonna be a comfortable home as well.
And it's a little chilly around here. We're
Yeah.
at like 8,000-ish
Yeah.
feet of elevation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Evergreen,
for sure.
Evergreen, Colorado.
Yeah, we like 2 weeks ago, we just had 36 inches of snow up here.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I don't know, it's all melted, but I would say
And
that
it's
we're
almost May, by
That's
the way.
right.
So we're thoroughly in almost summer where I am in Texas.
That's right, yep.
Now, what's the band of rock wool that I'm seeing here? What's that all
So
about?
in talking with our inspector, what we've needed to do is create a draft stop within these walls. Every 10 feet horizontally, we need to go vertically.
Got it.
And then if the wall is greater than 11 feet, we need to put that draft stop at 8 feet. So that's what you're seeing. Basically, it's a sample to show the inspector to see if he approves of this detail, and he has approved of it, and so now we can carry on.
And why are you insulating so early? Because the rest of the trades aren't here yet. You don't think that you're thinking about insulation details now or showing that to your inspector now. What's the purpose of that?
Yeah, so actually that's part of our SIGA Myrex, so which is our smart vapor retarder. That's going to come down this wall. We're going to insulate behind that, and then we're going to put furring strips on the inside of this wall. And so what we'll do is we'll have our Myrex attached to these 2x4s.
Got it.
And then we'll go horizontally with our strapping. So it'll be a 2x strapping, and then our electrician will come in, place their boxes, their Romex, and everything, and that'll all be on the inside of the Myrex. And
Fascinating. So in other words, this cavity doesn't get penetrated for anything. There's
Nothing.
no electrical in there. There's no plumbing in there.
Yep.
This will be an airtight assembly. He's got zip system on the outside
Yep.
that's been thoroughly detailed and taped. This will have a smart vapor retarder on the inside.
Yep.
Also acts as an air barrier. That's awesome.
Yep.
And then that 2x4 gives you that service cavity, which
correct.
I like to call, for all that electrical to run through.
That's
We
right.
got some cool stuff here. Let's keep going and see what else Luke can show us.
yeah, this is a cool detail. You can actually see the Myrex going over the top plate. That Myrex was put on before the roof joists were put on. And Isaac from Aero Building, along with Jake, told me about this detail. And what we'll do is we'll actually horizontally connect with zip tape. And so we get that continuous Myrex up and over the plate, and then it continues to the inside. And so our air barrier goes up with the zip over the top plate, and then continues to the underside of the ceiling.
So that green tape from SIGA will get used there to connect that air barrier to your zip.
That's correct.
And then the thing I like about that is you're not relying on spray foam, let's say, in between those cavities for air tightness.
That's correct. We are going to do some spray foam on the outside just to seal that up,
Okay.
to continue this to the underside of the roof OSB.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So you use a little closed cell
A
probably
little
in
bit.
this
Yep.
climate.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's really cool. That's a great detail.
Yeah.
I like that. While we're out here, tell me about these rough openings, Luke. I'm seeing that you're, looks like continuing your zip into the rough opening, and then
Yep.
you've got some 3M flashing tape that you're using on the sill
Yep.
and the sides. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so our window installer prefers this tape. He's just found that this has given him the best success. And what they do also before they prepare this opening is they run a router around this, the vertical and the horizontal down here. And you can kind of see the rounded edge. So you don't, what you typically see is this sharp edge from when you're cutting that rough opening. And what they do is they'll actually run a router on that corner, which you can see down here, and it just makes for a little bit easier flashing detail as they go around those corners.
And so this has just what, a quarter-inch roundover or eighth-inch roundover, something like that?
It doesn't need much.
Oh, that's really smart. And then you've continued the zip in, so this is your air barrier.
That's right.
And then how will you take your windows to the, is there tape happening here between the window and this?
Yep, so they'll continue their tape to the window itself. So they'll put a little bit of spray foam between the window frame and the zip, and they'll also tape that to the frame of the window as well.
Beautiful. That's really neat.
Backer rod. That's what
Backer rod. And then some caulk.
Backer rod and caulk.
I love
Yep,
it.
exactly.
That's a great detail.
That was the word I was trying to come up with.
So you've got a flat roof design. We've got these I-joists running inside to out.
Yeah.
And then this will get dense packed as well, and you're going to run that same membrane on the ceiling.
That's right.
And you'll just use a more inexpensive cellulose, right?
That's correct.
Perfect.
Yep.
I love it. What a cool house, man. I like this. This reminds me of some stuff I built in Austin that has the flat roofs, the modern architecture.
Yep.
I don't see the staggered stud, double stud wall though. Look at this, guys. There's snow on the job.
Yeah, so this is
almost
the pool
May.
vault. Yep.
Best performing wall we have in the whole house.
That's right.
I believe it.
We don't get a lot of sun right there. You can actually see some of the debris and trash from the roof that's blown off. But now that the snow has melted, all the debris and few things, a little bit of trash here and there is just becoming more evident. But,
That's wild.
Getting it cleaned up. This is a pool vault.
So
This is a swim spa.
are we slab on grade here?
Slab on grade, and we've got hydronic tubing running throughout this whole slab. We've got 6 inches of rigid foam underneath and 2 inches of foam around to completely isolate that slab from the exterior wall.
So we're totally thermally broken, even
That's
though I'm
correct.
stepping on concrete.
Yep.
And then this will get heated at my feet too.
That's correct.
Oh man, that's nice. That is a sweet detail. I like that a lot.
Yep.
Look at this family room too. Holy cow, this is beautiful. Is this concrete going to get exposed?
Tile.
Tile.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So we'll do Schluter, full Schluter, underlayment. Yeah. So this is where you'll see some of that steel running inside and out, but you'll also catch an eye on some of our thermal brakes here. So Armatherm, thermal brakes.
So some of your steel coming inside out, you've got a big thermal brake,
You
and
can
that's
see it
that
over there
piece
as well.
that kind of looks like a red iron piece, but it's actually
right.
not steel.
Yep, you can see it over there as well. It should be right in line with our exterior wall.
All right, so Luke, so you've got this like 1.5 inch thermal brake product. It's not steel, even though it looks like red iron. And that's making your cold steel on the outside not necessarily transfer that cold to the inside.
That's correct.
Now, if you couldn't do that, if there's something structurally that the engineer wasn't allowing you to do that, how do we mitigate that risk of condensation?
We're
on
going
the
to
steel?
close cell foam. We're essentially going to completely encapsulate our steel.
Gotcha.
And so we'll encapsulate that from the outside all the way to the inside to a certain point. We won't do the entire thing, but we'll get as much as we can with closed cell.
Yeah.
There's
so-
just certain areas where the engineer was like, we just can't get that thermal break within the steel.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yep.
And then are you getting strapping on this ceiling?
This will as well get strapping. Yep.
I
Yep.
was
So
gonna
this is
say, 'cause
all
that's-
going to be Myrex strapping, and then this is full tongue and groove wood ceiling, wood
some-
paneling.
Interesting engineering here. I'm noticing on the short span you've got I-joist, but then your engineer
Yep.
switched to
14-inch.
Yep. 14-inch
Yep.
deep LVLs.
Yep, that's right.
What's your snow load up here? Do you have any idea?
30
Oh my
pounds per foot.
gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
30 pounds a
Yep.
foot. That's serious business.
Yep.
We have 0 snow load in Texas. So
Design temperature, I think, of 1 degree-ish. I actually looked at our permit card last night, and it was 30
Wow.
pounds. Yep.
That's wild.
100-mile-per-hour wind, I think.
Let's keep going. Let's
Yep.
see what else we can see.
Fireplace.
What is this, Luke? What are we seeing here? This
Yeah,
big
so
opening?
this is the entry point.
Okay,
Yep,
so
there'll be a
this is
big
like the
glass
front door.
This is the front door. Yep, clients will come in here, guests will come in here. There'll be a nice built-in bench.
And what are you
your
doing for
shoes.
glazing? I suspect you can't get away with just a standard double glaze in this climate.
No, triple glaze, Zola.
Woo.
Beautiful window.
Those are beasts.
Yep.
Is that a wood window on the inside?
Yep, it's wood with exterior cladding. Yep.
Wow, that's neat.
Yep.
Nice product. I really
Heavy.
like these concrete floors too.
So we had to place our floor outlets before with conduit. And so you'll see all these squares there throughout, of which indicate floor outlets.
Oh, check it out. We can see some of your thermal break
Yep,
here too,
yep.
right? So this is 2 inches of foam.
Yep, that's right.
And then this looks like Stego.
Yep, Stego's going over and up. And in areas you've actually seen it, we've taken the fen trim and we've actually bridged that gap with some fen trim between
Okay.
this as well.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep,
So this is sitting on a raft of insulation.
6 inches.
so that we're not getting that cold from the ground up into the house.
That's right.
And then is this boiler fed to feed that tubing?
Yep, for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
And that's how the whole house gets heated?
That's right.
Through the floors?
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be comfortable.
Yep.
I like that.
All right, coming over here where we, so we were just looking at the slab with the hydronic tubing. Where we have framing, we'll actually be pouring gypcrete. So we'll lay down our tubing.
Okay.
And then we'll pour gypcrete over the top of that.
So basically like a gypsum style topping slab over
correct.
this. And then I'm noticing you've switched to trusses here that I'm guessing have a flat bottom cord but maybe a pitch on the top. Is
That's correct.
Is that right?
And that way we can get this clear span all the way across. We did it in the garage. We did it here. And this is another point of entry as well. So we didn't want anything to block this. And this
Gotcha.
is the stairwell going down. We've got our railing.
And I thought we were heating from the ground. Is this air conditioning?
This
or
is actually our
fresh air?
ERV. Yeah, so this allows us, this open web truss allows
gotcha.
us to run our ductwork into our ERVs,
Smart.
of which we'll be using for our bath fans,
That makes sense.
as well as just our circulation.
This is interesting too. You're using trusses for this header
Yep.
across here. You don't see that very often. That's really smart. It allows you to get a greater
Little less
amount of
lumber.
insulation,
Yep, exactly.
less lumber,
Yep.
And then the PSLs are carrying that load down.
That's right.
That's a cool detail. I like that a lot. Luke, I like to see a bunch of rock around the job site. I'm a
That's
big
right.
fan as
Never
well.
hurts.
And then I'm seeing you got your ERV right here.
That's correct.
Is this the only ERV for the house?
We actually have 4 ERVs.
Wow.
Yep, so we've got one here in the laundry, one down there near the powder, one downstairs to service the bedrooms downstairs in that area. And so
I'm curious how you'll access that for service and filter cleaning. Do you have a fake ceiling in here? Will that be
yeah, so we've got this
exposed?
drop ceiling, and we've got a really clean access panel that we've been using on our jobs, which is great. And it's just a real clean line that goes around. That'll drop right down. You can change the filters, access the ERV if you ever need to swap it out or anything like that. Another thing, I misspoke earlier about the snow load and the engineering required here. Our snow load is actually 60, so double what I said. Yeah.
Pounds of
Yep.
snow
Yep.
per square foot.
So we
on
do
the
get a
roof.
lot of snow.
Yeah, you do.
And that's why you have to see all this engineering. I mean, you see LVLs, TJIs. I mean, it's quite a feat of
The
engineering.
ceiling is something to behold. There
Yeah.
is some serious engineered lumber going on in this house. I like it. Let's keep going. All right, Luke, so the engineered ceiling looks like it's all pitched in this area now.
That's correct.
What are we walking into here? What is this
So
space?
we are walking into the Vista room.
the
There'll
Vista
be
room.
a TV, double-sided fireplace. As you can see,
Look at that
views of the
mountain
mountains.
view.
Yeah, pretty
And
amazing.
what's up with all the steel? What's happening here?
Well, we are actually cantilevered here, so you're standing over a cantilever. So we've got a bunch of
Whoa.
steel below. We've got a massive pilaster there, but that's obviously doing all of the work, holding up this
Dang.
floor.
And look at that view. My goodness. So this
not
is
too
all glass in here.
All glass.
And which way, I wonder which way we're facing here.
That is west.
We're facing west.
That is west.
Golly, look at
Yep.
those mountaintops.
Yep, again, you can see our thermal brakes on the outside here. We did them all here with our Armatherm.
Now, Luke, I'm pretty sure those Armatherms, they make them in various types, so you can
correct.
get the pounds per square foot you need
Yep.
on structure, and your engineer's kind of looking through that catalog. But how expensive are those? Are those crazy?
Really, I think that only came in to about $2,000 or $3,000 for the whole house to put
Not
all
at
of those
all.
in.
That's
Yep.
impressive.
And it came
I'm
with a
gonna be-
washer as well.
I'm going to be looking into those.
Yep.
All right, Luke, so now we're seeing that cantilever where we just were a minute ago.
Yep.
Holy cow, that is some serious steel under
That's
here.
right, that's right.
Now, how the heck do you get this steel insulated? Because you've got floors above it.
One of
and
your
that steel's
original,
gonna-
oh, sorry.
You're
One of
good,
your
brother.
original build,
It was the
forget what
Build Show
the
Build.
Build Show
series.
Build, the Hilltop Arrow, Mr. Basic and Jake. What we're going to do is essentially put a zip R on the underside of here to create that thermal break from the cold, essentially give us a horizontal wall, so it's not vertical, but it's
Yep.
horizontal. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put zip, tape the seams, everything, fill that.
And will you close cell foam this first?
We are going to close cell foam. Yes, we are going to do that, but we're also going to close cell foam the steel as well.
Got it.
And we've already closed celled the outside of the steel before we covered it up with the zip. So
And then with that zip R underneath there, so that'll be an insulated cavity that will
that's correct.
temper that cold from coming into the house.
Yep.
Holy cow, man, look at that serious piece of concrete.
Yeah, you would not
And this
believe the amount of
massive
rebar in there.
Oh, holy cow.
And then we had to get our non-shrink grout in there. And so we had to
yeah.
put non-shrink grout in. And
Is there
Yeah.
seismic issues around here too?
that's a great question. I know we do design for seismic as well.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
I had a feeling you might. It's not easy building the mountains. I
No,
don't know about
it's
this,
not.
Dave. This is not for the faint of heart.
No,
It doesn't make for an inexpensive house, nor does it make for an easy build.
No, and we encountered rock right as we started excavating. I mean, we're at the top of a hill here. You can see all the rock around us. We had to go down and just chip away at that rock and keep chipping. So yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Let's go back in and go check out the garage, shall we? Man, the steel is fabulous, and I love the thermal brakes. Garage is ginormous on this house.
Yep.
I like this. What's up with the roofing membrane on the ground?
This is just to protect the floor. It's just all about protection and just to protect the client's investment into their garage floor. It's just
Is that EPDM? Okay.
Yeah, so it came from another job. We bought it once, we roll it up, we bring it on to the next job and utilize it from job
really
to job.
smart.
Yep.
Not only that, if you spill something, if the plumber's glue gets on this, it's not going to come through
Or
like it
glob.
might if it was
Exactly.
plywood or something that wasn't taped.
That's right.
Also, I've never seen a sign like this before too, because I don't do any in slab. That's smart.
Yep.
Do you take this around to all your jobs?
Yeah. So there's one here, there's one over there. I try to just make sure everybody's aware that there's hydronic tubing in there. If we were to penetrate that, I think we'd have an issue.
That's really smart. I also love to see your job site organization.
Yeah.
Probably approved plans in these tubes
That's
down
correct.
here.
Yeah, permit box.
And then you can have a permit box on the job.
That's right.
And a lockable place to put a couple of your
right.
goods on the job.
So something special about this garage is it's going to house some units that are going to feed oxygen into the master bedroom.
What?
Which is really interesting. So
You're going to have oxygen in the garage
That's
that's
right.
tubed into the house?
Yep. So here at 8,300 feet, our clients wanted to have oxygen. It helps you sleep better. And so what they'll be able to do is our doors will actually be sealed. So at night before they go to bed, they'll be able to drop the essentially elevation of that bedroom and be able to sleep a lot better. So they can drop it down to 2,000 feet, whatever. Yeah.
They're going to pump oxygen into the master.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's just a little slit above their bed, and it'll just pump that oxygen in right before bedtime.
I get altitude sickness.
Yeah.
And I suspect if you had that, you wouldn't need that.
That's correct.
Because now your oxygen levels are increased,
Yep.
and now you wouldn't have that elevation sickness.
And where they build
That's
at
pretty
higher
wild.
elevation, some of the entire home has that technology as well.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
How about we see my favorite room, which is mechanicals?
Let's do it.
Meet you down there.
So we've got all our infrastructure in. We've got our waste, our water, but we also have our boiler system. So our boiler system is going to go here.
And there's your Uponor hydronics.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
we've got one of our manifolds here. We've got another manifold that's going to feed the upper level. That'll sit right here. But all this infrastructure had to go in before we poured our slabs. We had to run all of our tubing.
A lot of forethought.
A lot of forethought.
Here's
Yep.
something you don't see in Texas too. This is neat. This is from Uponor, I believe. And this is a pre-insulated pipe set. So this is your incoming water.
That's right.
For the house. It already is insulated and is in this corrugated sleeve. And so when the plumbers unroll this, you can set it in the ditch. It's
right.
not going to get hurt with backfill
That's
because
right.
it's got protection on there, and there's insulation in there already.
That's right.
That's pretty neat.
Yep.
You
Everything
need that-
will also have a recirculating line, which is really nice. So since our main bedroom on the other side of the house is so far away, we have a recirc line that we had to put in as well underneath that slab. So they'll have instant hot water.
That's really cool, man.
Yep.
Super fun. What a neat house. Love it. I'd like to come back to this one and see all these mechanicals
sure.
on their end. That's
For
for sure. Luke, incredible tour, man. What a house. So fun. After watching you on the gram and now watching you on YouTube to kind of finally see one of these beautiful job sites here in the mountains.
Yeah, thanks for coming up here.
Totally.
It's been great to have you guys show the tour, everything. Yep.
It's been really fun. Now I'm here for the Sashco Zero Failures event. We're headed back down the mountain to do that. But in the meantime, guys, go follow Luke. He's shooting videos all the time on Instagram for his daily feed, it feels like. And he's also got a YouTube channel now, right, Luke?
That's right. Yep. Rangeline Homes.
And if I'm correct, I'm understanding that you're getting clients that are
correct.
following your YouTube, following your Instagram. They're actually coming to you because they know he's a great builder in Evergreen, Colorado. How cool is that? That's great. You guys, if you're builders, you should be following him. If for no other reason, then see what Luke is doing and realize that you could be doing the same thing and you could be getting clients from your social media feed, from your YouTube channels. That's exactly what I did for many, many years on YouTube. I strictly thought of these videos as a way for people to interview me, and I'm showing off my details, my craftsmanship, how I care about things. That's exactly what Luke's doing, and he's getting clients from that. So I would encourage you to go follow Luke and all those channels. We'll put a link on those below. But guys, if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. We've got new content here every Tuesday and every Friday. Will you close it out in my normal dorky way?
Let's do it.
Follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on the
Build Show.